Welcome to GS Core, and in our today's one day one topic economy program, we'll be talking about irrigation systems in India. Before that, you must be having some questions regarding what is irrigation, why this irrigation system is quite important for India. When did this irrigation system started in India? Why it is essential for our farmers? Who manages this irrigation in India, and how does irrigation work in India? So lot number of questions you might be having. So let us discuss all such questions one by one in our one day one answer program. And then we'll be seeing one UPSC 2024 mains question also, and then we'll be talking about how we should be tackling such type of questions. So if we talk about what is irrigation, the first question that is coming in our mind is what is irrigation? So irrigation is mostly an artificial application of water. In this we give water to the land, and mostly why we are giving this water, so that there is growth of plants, growth of our crops is there. It is quite crucial in those regions which have insufficient rainfall, and also to maintain the agriculture productivity we require irrigation. So in this we are giving water to our land, we are giving water to our crops. So if we talk about our next question that says when did this irrigation system started in India? Did it started during the British time period, or it is a modern concept? No, it is not a modern concept. It has existed in India way before our we can say Gupta period, way before our Vedic period. So mostly it was during the time of Indus Valley civilization. We see the formation of tanks was there, the formation of wells was there. So in this part, modern irrigation, if we talk about, this gained momentum during the British time period, and after post-independence India, we see there is a grand expansion of these irrigation projects in India due to government initiatives, due to government projects. Then our next question, where is irrigation, or which place in India these irrigations are most important? So mostly it is valid across all over India, but still there are some regions such as arid region and the semi-arid regions like Rajasthan, Gujarat and parts of South India. These irrigation projects are quite helpful due to insufficient rainfall in these regions. But there are other regions also where we have ample amount of water, where there are a lot number of waters such as Haryana, Punjab and Western Uttar Pradesh region. Still we are heavily using these irrigation projects because there is high agriculture productivity, there is high government support, and we are using high yield variety of seeds that require high amount of water. Then our next question is why? Why this irrigation system is important for us? First of all, we see more than 50% of our labor force is in agriculture, and we see Indian economy is also dependent on the agriculture. So and our agriculture is mostly dependent on rainfall. That's why to ensure the food security in India, this agriculture system, irrigation system is quite important for our crops and crop yield. Then next part, it is quite beneficial for drought management. So first was your agriculture productivity, second is your drought management. We can write Rajasthan, here Gujarat, Punjab, Haryana, here we can write artificial application of water. So in the drought management area, where we have scarcity of water or there are dry spell regions, over there this irrigation is quite handy. Then it will give boost to rural economy, because there will be increase in productivity. Increase in productivity will increase the income of the farmers, and those farmers are going to spend that extra income in the village region only. So it will give boost to the rural economy. There will be more demand for the goods and the services in those region. Then there is next point, multiple cropping. Now farmers are not depending on rainfall. Now they are not depending on rainfall, so they can grow 2 to 3 crops in a year. So multiple cropping will be there. Our next question is who? Who manages these irrigation projects in India? Although agriculture is a part of your state subject, but we'll be including each and every authority in this part. Central government is there. Central and state governments are there. And they are helping via the funding part, and also there are large infrastructure projects such as canals that require the state funding, and it requires 15 to 20 years for completion. So such large irrigation projects like dams and canals require the central and the state government help. Then local communities can also help. For the development of wells and tanks, and water stored in these wells and tanks can be used during the dry spell region. Then farmers themselves can act. They can help via their own private funding and private irrigation system. They can install tube wells, sprinkler irrigation and drip irrigation with their own funds. Next part, how does this irrigation work in India? How does, or how many types of irrigation are there? So first of all, there is surface irrigation, and water is distributed amongst water is distributed across the fields and the crops using pumps, and water is coming from the canals. Then there is groundwater irrigation is there using tube wells. We are extracting the groundwater for our crops. Then there is micro irrigation techniques is there. In this we are using pipes, and in those pipes there are small holes. Like this is a pipe. Over here there is a small hole, and through this hole a drop of water is coming, and that drop of water is directly going towards the roots of the plant. So there will be lesser evaporation. So we can say per crop more drop kind of agriculture we are focusing over this part. Then there is sprinkler irrigation is there. Water is spread throughout the field via the sprinklers. So it is a kind of like rainwater. It will give an impact like there is happening rain. So also the productivity of crops increases due to sprinkler irrigation. Then if we talk about these irrigation techniques such as canal irrigation, this technique is mostly working well in the regions of Haryana, Punjab and the Uttar Pradesh region. Mostly the water is brought to the fields via the canals, and these canal networks are then connected with the major rivers or dam region. Example, Indira Gandhi Canal in Rajasthan. Next irrigation technique is your tank irrigation. It is working well in the South India, mostly in the regions of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and the Andhra Pradesh region. Tank water stores the rainwater, and during the dry spells region we will be using this stored water for our fields, and it is quite common in the rocky region where it is quite difficult to make canals. Example, Krishna Raja Sagar Dam in Karnataka. Then there is next type of irrigation is wells and tube wells, and this is quite popular in the Gujarat region, Punjab region, Uttar Pradesh region, and mostly we are using we can say tube wells and the pumps to extract the groundwater, because there is sufficient amount of groundwater available in these region. So example, Gujarat, and Gujarat has a quite good dense network of these tube wells. Next is our drip irrigation, as we have already discussed, this is quite famous in the Maharashtra region, Andhra Pradesh region and the Tamil Nadu region, and the water is directly delivered to the roots of the plant in the small and controlled quantity. Example can be this type of irrigation is quite helpful for the grapes and the pomegranate cultivation. Next is our sprinkler. Sprinkler irrigation mostly in the regions of Rajasthan region is there, Gujarat and Karnataka region is there, and water is sprayed using the sprinkler, and it is mimicking the natural rainfall, and it will be quite helpful in the water scarce region also. Example, it is mostly used in the arid and the semi-arid region areas. If we talk about some data and facts related to this irrigation, around 48% of the total cropped area in India is using irrigation in India. Groundwater dependency is also quite high in India. Roughly around 60% of India's irrigation water comes from the groundwater region. If we talk about the canal contribution in the irrigation, it is roughly around 24% of the total irrigation. And some government schemes we can talk about, such as Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. In this we are focusing on how we can improve our micro irrigation techniques, how these micro irrigation techniques should be reaching to the small farmers also, and also the focus on per crop more drop irrigation system. Then there are some challenges also related to these irrigation system. Challenges in terms of over extraction of groundwater is seen in the Punjab region, and we see there is depletion of groundwater in those regions. Then inefficiencies in the canal system is also there. There is too much of water evaporation in these regions, so that is again a big problem for us, because there is water wastage, water seepage and evaporation is there. Then the problems of water logging and salination is there. Mostly if there is a term we use, flood irrigation, in which we flood our fields with the water, and this leads to water logging problems. So again it will reduce fertility of the soil. Unequal access is there of these irrigation techniques, because this drip irrigation and sprinkler irrigation, they are quite costly, and these costly irrigation is only beneficial for the large farmers, because small farmers are not able to afford these techniques. So again this is a problem. Then again climate change is again a problem. Irregular rainfall is there, and we are not able to store the rainfall water, so again it will become a big problem. So what are the reforms related to irrigation? What can we do and what can the government do regarding these problems? First of all, we should promote these micro irrigation techniques, because they are quite helpful in saving the water and the groundwater also. So drip irrigation and sprinkler irrigation, they consume lesser amount of water, that's why they are quite important. Rainwater harvesting should be done. More of these we can say wells and tanks should be made, so that we can utilize this groundwater during the we can utilize this rainwater during the dry spell region. Then canal modernization should be there. Suppose this is a river, and over here we have made some canal, so we should install solar panels nearby these canals, so that it will reduce the evaporation from this canal. Then groundwater regulation should be there. Over extraction should be penalized. Of those farmers who are wasting the groundwater, strict policies should be made regarding these problems. Then decentralized water management should be there. Government should encourage local participation of the panchayat also, so that they should also make some rules and regulations regarding these exploitation. Then let us move forward to our next question that UPSC has asked in mains 2024, and they are talking about the major challenges faced by the Indian irrigation system in India. This is the first part that we need to answer, and we need to also talk about the government measures and how government is effectively managing these irrigation techniques, or how they are promoting these irrigation techniques. So first of all, in the introduction part, we will be defining the irrigation, and it is quite if you want to score more marks, you should be giving some data regarding irrigation in India. Then you can also talk about M. Vishveshwara. He initiated economic planning in India in 1934. M. Vishveshwara, and he is a quite important personality. You can use this in your introduction, and he also wrote a book, Planned Economy for India, and he mostly talked about economic planning in India. He made a 10-year plans also, so you can quote him in the introduction part. Engineering Day on 15th September. तो इनके नाम से हम जो है ये इंजीनियरिंग डे सेलिब्रेट करते हैं. देन कृष्णा राजा सागर डैम डेट वी हैव रिसेंटली डिस्कस्ड in our example of tank irrigation, Krishna Raja Sagar Dam, and it is in Karnataka region in the Mysore region. He also has contributed in this part. Then if we talk about some contribution, the flood gates, the automatic gates and the water engineering, all such are the examples of his contribution to the agriculture. So in the introduction part we can quote M. Vishveshwara also, or some irrigation data we can quote. Then we'll be directly jumping on the question that he is asking, major challenges faced by the Indian irrigation system in the recent times. In this part we'll be talking about water scarcity is there, because over exploitation of water resources and depleting groundwater is there. Water scarcity is there. Then inefficient water management is there. And this is mostly due to flood irrigation techniques, water wastage is there, uneven distribution is there. Then aging infrastructure is also there. Next problem is aging infrastructure. And this is mostly due to outdated techniques and the poorly management of these infrastructure. We see aging of canals, aging of our tanks. These are some major problems. Then climate change is again a big problem, climate change, because we see some regions are having more rainfall and some regions are not having that much rainfall, adequate rainfall, so there is problem of rainwater. So it will be quite difficult for our infrastructure to hold that groundwater because there is already less and they are not well managed. Then the problem of soil degradation. Problem of soil degradation is also there due to use of chemicals, fertilizers, and we are using HYV seeds. So due to high yield variety seeds, we need to give them more of the fertilizers, chemicals and the irrigated water. Then there are policy implementation gaps also from the government side. They have made lot number of policies and various departments are there and they are not able to coordinate effectively. So that is again a big problem. Then there is delay of completion of projects. Delay in projects such as canals and dams. The project was initially there for 15 years, but the completion took 25 years. These are some problems. Then the problem of interstate water dispute. Because most of our rivers are interstate, so definitely there are a lot number of disputes regarding the water with the states. Next, regional variations is also a big problem. In the northeast regions, 28% of the fields are irrigated using the irrigation techniques, whereas in northern India it has almost reached 95%. Then there is decline in water table, that is again a big problem. And last problem that we can write is energy crisis and the power outage problem also. Then if we talk about some reforms taken by the government, measures taken by the government for effective management of irrigation techniques, you can quote some government schemes such as Pradhan Mantri Krishi Vikas Yojana. Krishi Sichai Yojana, and in this irrigation technique is being promoted, micro irrigation technique is promoted, per crop more drop irrigation technique is promoted. Then in 10th 5-year plan, government also promoted the micro irrigation techniques in India. In 2008, we see Ministry of Agriculture, they made a corpus fund of 5,000 crore with the NABARD to promote irrigation facilities in India. National water policies are also there. In this, irrigated water management system is there, and we are promoting sustainable and equitable distribution of water. Then Jal Shakti Abhiyan is there, that focus on water conservation in India. Rainwater harvesting techniques are being promoted and use of traditional water bodies in India. Then farmer training program is also there, how we can teach these farmers how they can use the drip irrigation and the sprinkler irrigation and the different types of irrigation, how they can effectively utilize the water that they have. Then digital irrigation method is also there, in which we are using technology to drive solution for the remote areas, arid areas and the semi-arid areas, and we are using data analytics to solve the problems of that region. Then various state sponsored schemes are also there. States are also, because agriculture is a state subject, so states have also made their own schemes. And finally, in the conclusion part, we will be talking about how these use of technology can effectively save water and also increase the productivity also. So, thank you everyone.